Hey kids, I got more soup for you. Since the start of Photon Hypernova format, I was under the impression that Ophion is kinda nuts, but I couldn't find a way to actually make it consistently while still putting up, like, anything else. But now as super heavy as I can, so here it is. For our first game, we'll be going up against Bestial Chaos Synchro. I really have no idea why this deck is so popular. It's just not good. It does nothing. I suppose with the new support, like Branded Despia and Chaos Angel, it is somewhat appealing, but I mean, for fuck's sake, they have to play Angel of Zera? They're on Tyrant, Red Dragon, Archfiend. I don't even know how they're summoning that, or why, for that matter. Anyway, we've lost the die roll, but they've opened like shit, so they're going to activate Chaos Zone, set Chaos Phantasm, and pass. Nice deck. We're going to start by normal summoning Soul Piercer, then equipping Soul Piercer with Soul Piercer. Then we're going to make Scarecrow, trigger both Soul Piercers. We'll grab Bike and Wakaushi. We're going to activate Wakaushi, then activate Wakaushi. Wakaushi is going to set Benkei and summon itself. Benkei here is going to be grabbing Soul Piercer. We're going to go ahead and pitch a card for Scarecrow, summoning back Soul Piercer. They're going to Gamma, we're going to Ash. We're going to chain block all of our effects that we actually want to resolve with the Soul Piercer search. We already have Soul Peacemaker, so it's not a big deal if it gets negated. We're going to make Barone and go ahead and pop that back row. Then we'll go ahead and equip Soul Peacemaker and special summon Wagon from deck. Wagon here is going to be grabbing Soul Gaia Booster. Soul Gaia Booster is going to special summon itself and will overlay for Gallant Granite. Gallant Granite here is going to search for a copy of Nibiru. We're going to pendulum summon both copies of Heliotrope and go to the battle phase. We'll clear their field and get in for 53 before they attempt to Magnum. We'll negate that because we're gonna Ophion. They can't synchro summon after this. Well, they can't do much of anything after this. Anyways, they draw Chaos Space, which is probably the best top deck. They're gonna go for a Shell of Chaos and special summon it. They're gonna activate Shell of Chaos. I'm gonna Ghost Ogre because I just didn't read this card. I've just kind of sectioned it off in my mind as a bad card. Anyway, it floats into core. They're going to special summon the shell, and then they're going to realize they can't synchro because of Ophion and concede. Don't play this deck, folks. Now for something equally funny. Here's Time-Rending Morganite Spirits. Wait, they're only on 11 cards in the extra? Yeah. What is the Undogmatic Punishment for the... Oh, hey, look, they're on the new spell from Blues Nexus. Free-range monsters? What? Wait, how are they even I'm just not going to ask questions. I'm just not going to ask questions. They are going first. They're going to activate Morganite and set 2. I assume this is stun because every time I see Morganite, it's always stun. We're going to scale Waka, scale Benkei, special Waka. Activate Benkei, grab Soul Piercer. Soul Piercer is going to be linked off for Scarecrow. They're going to call it by a Soul Piercer, which really sucks. Thankfully, we have a lot of the material already to be able to combo off from here. We'll make Draco Berserker and put a name in Graves. That way we can use Scarecrow for Scales. Scales is going to get a Soul Gaia Booster. Then we'll tribute off the Scarecrow for Wagon. Wagon is going to add Soul Piercer for next turn. We're going to make Alimbertion for 3. That's going to add Rescue Rabbit from deck to hand. We'll Pendulum Summon the Rabbit and then activate its effect for 2 copies of Heliotrope. Overlay for Ophion, activate the Ophion to grab Infestation Pandemic, and we're going to attack. We punch over the Amato Wado, giving Draco Berserker some points, then we're going to get in, putting them to 34-50. They're going to draw 2 because of Morganite, then change of heart to Draco Berserker, which is a huge problem. Then they'll normal summon Sakitama and tribute set Amaterasu. We're going to set Shinobird Salvation and pass. We'll Pendulum Summon Soul Piercer and Caster, then make IP Masquerena, drawing into searching rather. Bike grabs another Soul Piercer, which will link off, and then make Nightmare Unicorn. We'll try to spin Amaterasu. They're going to flip Amaterasu. We're going to Ghost Ogre the Amaterasu, so that way it can't banish all other cards on the field. And they'll flip Shinobird Salvation, which does blank the battle phase. We will pass turn. They'll draw 2. They hit Aratama Lightning Storm. They're going to normal summon Aratama. Grab... Alright, hold on. I'm going to need to read this. I need to figure out how the hell you pronounce this. Sulu Hakatsunagi. Okay, cool. Anyways, we're going to send our Alimbertion, so we both draw a card. We hit a Ghost Ogre, which is great. They're going to activate this. I haven't read this still. Apparently it does this. Apparently it's Fiber Jar. but I've got a Wakushi in hand, so I'm okay with this. We top deck the Ghost Ogre again, which is hilarious. We'll get Benkei. Benkei is going to grab us Soul Piercer. We're going to Noble Soul Piercer, make Scarecrow, trigger Soul Piercer. We get Bike. Bike is going to grab Scales. We're going to pitch Scales, Reborn Scales. Scales is going to Reborn Soul Piercer. Now we'll go ahead and make Ass Dragon. Ass Dragon is going to summon back Bike, and we'll set Scale, and we'll also add from deck to hand Soul Peacemaker. We'll make Barone, Soul Peacemaker, the Scarecrow, tribute off the Scarecrow for Wagon. Wagon effect is going to grab us Soul Gaia Booster. We're going to activate Soul Gaia Booster, summon itself. That's going to let us make a 3-material Alan Bershan, rather. That gets us Rescue Rabbit. We'll Pendulum summon the Rescue Rabbit, activate the effect, summon 2 more Heliotropes. That's going to let us overlay for an Ophion. Detach it, grab COVID-69, and we will go to combat, get in for 3,000, and then lethal with Ophion. Next up, we'll be going up against what appears to be a strange build of Branded Despia. I don't think Despia Theater of the Branded is standard, but, well, look, I couldn't tell you. Wait, are they not on Brandebron? Or Dragwing? Weird. Anyway, we're going to start off by scaling Wakushi. Wakushi is going to scale Benkei and then summon itself. Benkei is going to be grabbing here a copy of Soul Peacemaker because we already have Soul Piercer. Bike is going to trade out for another Soul Piercer. Then we'll make Ass Dragon. Ass Dragon is going to summon back the Bike. Wakushi will scale itself, and we will be searching Scales. We're going to make Barone, then Pendulum summon out Soul Piercer, Scales, Rescue Rabbit. Scales is going to summon back Soul Piercer. We're going to link off Soul Piercer for Scarecrow. Scarecrow is going to get us Soul Gaia Booster. We're going to activate the Rescue Rabbit to make Ophion. This was a mistake, by the way. This comes back to bite me in just a second, but you'll see that soon. We're going to Scarecrow back the Bike. We're going to activate Bike to increase it to level 4. And here I wanted to Synchro summon Draco Berserker. I wanted to summon Draco Berserker here, but I couldn't because Ophion prevents both players from summoning level 5 or higher monsters. So, whoopsie. We're going to overlay for Gallant Granite. Instead, Gallant Granite is going to search a copy of Nibiru. Then we're going to Soul Gaia Booster the Scarecrow, activate Soul Gaia Booster, that summons itself. That'll allow us to make Alan Bershan, overlay for F-Zero, overlay for F-Zero, then activate the Soul Peacemaker for a Wagon, and then activate Wagon to search Soul Piercer, just as follow-up, I suppose. They're going to Null summon Aliber. Aliber grabs them a copy of Branded Fusion. They're going to activate Despia Theater of the Branded. I'm going to negate Branded Loss because I really want to be able to F-Zero at least something. They're going to summon Mud Dragon using Super Poly. That allows them to make Mirror Jade. They're going to activate Mirror Jade for some reason, which lets me negate and steal with UDF. They're going to Tragedy for Branded Fusion and then Concede. And now for our final and arguably funniest game, we'll be going up against Danger Dark World. We have won the die roll once again. We're going to activate Bike. Bike grabs Soul Piercer, scale Wakaushi. Wakaushi is going to scale Benkei and summon itself. Benkei here is going to be grabbing, I believe, okay, yeah, Soul Peacemaker. We're going to normal summon Soul Piercer. Soul Piercer gets linked on for Scarecrow, which adds Scales. We're going to pitch Scales, summon Scales. Scales back, summon Soul Piercer. Here we're going to synchro into Ass Dragon. Trigger Soul Piercer, trigger Ass Dragon, trigger Wakaushi. We're going to set Scale, summon Bike, and search Bike. We're going to make Barone, then activate Soul Peacemaker. Soul Peacemaker summons Wagon. Wagon is going to activate its effect to add Soul Gaia Booster. Soul Gaia Booster is going to activate itself and then equip itself and summon itself. That lets us make a 3-material Alan Bershan. We are going to add Rescue Rabbit, and we are going to Pendulum summon 3. We're going to overlay for evilswarm Nightmare, then banish the Rescue Rabbit for 2 copies of evilswarm Heliotrope. That allows us to overlay for Ophion. Ophion's going to grab COVID-69, and we are going to pass. Our opponent is going to activate Danger Chupacabra, and they hit a Bigfoot. What a disaster. They're going to pop the Barone, which, thank God. Then they're going to activate Jackalope, hit Silva. Silva can't summon itself. Then they're going to activate Bigfoot. Bigfoot hits itself. They're going to go Gates Dark World. I'm going to Ghost over that, and they're going to make Nightmare Cerberus. Nightmare Cerberus does out the Ophion, unfortunately, and they'll normal summon Snow and bounce it for the Rainbow, but we are going to Nightmare that. We're going to activate Bike. Bike grabs Soul Piercer. We're going to Pendulum summon 2. That's going to allow us to make a Draco Berserker and add another Bike. Then we'll make F-Zero, and go to combat. Draco Berserker is going to get absolutely huge here and punch over the Cerberus for 44, and I choked. I had my normal summon. I could have normaled this Bike, but I didn't do the math. And I was like, oh, that's 9,000 points of damage. That's probably enough for game. It was not. I just didn't do the math. I said to myself, math is for nerds, math is for blockers. And I got punished for it. Anyways, we'll make a 4-material Zeus and pass. They have a snow. They're going to normal summon snow, special summon rainbow, and pass. If this is just game. We're going to switch Zeus to attack, punch over with Drake Berserker. It's going to reach 9,000 attack, and that's 3,000 with Zeus for game. I'll be honest, this is like the worst super heavy build I've shown on the channel so far, but it's incredibly funny watching decks like Dark World try to out your board, so I just don't care. I'm just going to, keep playing.